Right. Putting the cat aside for a second, there is breaking news out of Washington. It looks like the president today in his speech, the AP and now Fox News confirming that he's going to propose a grand bargain, and that grand bargain will involve the reducing the corporate tax rate in exchange for more investment for middle class or spending or infrastructure and jobs. Laura Ingraham joins us right now with instant analysis on that. Laura, is this something where the president's meeting halfway, cut the corporate rate, and I also need $50 billion to build some roads?
Yeah, well, obviously the first part will be music to the ears of corporate analysts today, but always tying it to yet another stimulus or more government spending, I think I'd be shocked if it went anywhere on Capitol Hill, and I think he knows that. So while it looks like he's reaching out maybe a bit of an olive branch here, more spending with the House Republicans, I don't see how that's going to fly at all. Yeah. So I think it's ultimately going to be a lot of fanfare today, but I'm not sure it's going to go anywhere.
Besides, Laura, the president himself has been behind lowering corporate tax rates for a while, but it has always been coupled with lowering individual tax rates as well, part of a big bargain, but the individual tax rates part is missing from this particular proposal.
Well, yeah. Well, I think since the big deal last January about income taxes, individual income taxes, some people got a hit, some people got permanent rate stabilization, the old Bush tax cuts. Yep. I don't think they're going to go back to that right now. But look, the fact of the matter is this recovery has been a phony recovery. I mean, corporate earnings, the ratio of corporate profits to earnings is actually not bad. 15-16 right now is the ratio, but most middle-income earners are seeing either wages stagnate or actually wages go down. And you guys have been doing great work this morning on how so many people now are going to find themselves in poverty at one point or another in their lives. We have GDP at ridiculous lows, hovering around 1% last quarter. So the idea that somehow this has been a 5 years of a slow but steady recovery, it's a jobless recovery. And the president can try to avoid that topic, and I know we're going to talk about all of his other pet issues. Yep. But in the end, that ultimately is going to be, I think, the historical marker on this presidency, whether it really was a recovery for all Americans. And I don't think you're seeing that.
Laura, did you refer to it as a phony recovery? Because that's clever.
Yeah. Well, phony scandals, phony recovery. Well, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it means that we have a lot of people who are doing well at the upper income levels, but for most people who are just trying to put their kids through college and prepare for maybe what they thought was retirement, they're like, what recovery? It's not working for them.
And Laura, we're hearing very often the president saying that Washington is this and Washington is that, almost talking in the third person as if it's not his problem.
Like he doesn't live
in charge.
He doesn't even live here.
Right. But beginning next month, he's going to be starting a series of speeches leading up to the campaigning for midterm elections. There's 4 of them, and it's a bit curious what's missing. On August the 4th, he's going to be talking about Obamacare, if we can put that up there. Then on the 5th, immigration, climate change on August the 13th, and gun control on August the 21st. So what's missing there?
Yeah, well, of course, not the economy. Yeah, so again, it's a lot like 2012 in many ways, right? Where the president is good at pushing the kind of socialist, progressive, liberal, whatever moniker you want to use, these types of hot button issues, right? And he has some help from Republicans and big business and big GOP donors on the issue of immigration. That's the one I think he's going to really use to try to maybe broaden the Democratic base going into the midterms. But when the president, after 5 years, cannot campaign on Follow Us, the Democrat platform on the economy, and your life will get better, I think they're in for a potential drubbing in the midterms and perhaps even a shock in the next presidential election. In the end, people need to know that their country and their government is working for them, not just on the issues that, frankly, motivate a Thursday night seminar at Harvard